It's the Belgian Grand Prix, the site of the maiden victory of the Jordan team in 1998. The venue that Michael Schumacher made his debut in Formula One. There is so much history here amongst the beautiful nature. 19 corners, 4.3 miles or 7 kilometres. There's over 100 metres of elevation change here with long stretches of the lap spent flat out. Look out for the bus stop chicane. The final challenge before the temporary relief of the start-finish straight. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Phoenix lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Ocon, Liam Lawson, Oscar Piastri, Verstappen, Leclerc, Gasly, Bottas, Ricciardo, Albon, Perez, Tsunoda, Sainz, Magnussen, Zhou, Stroll, Sargent, Norris, and George Russell ends our grid lineup. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. Joining me for today's race once again is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Phoenix. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
It's been a really solid year so far. There have been some incredible standout performances, but what's really impressed me has been the consistency. With this kind of form, I'm expecting another great race today.
So everything looks good on the power unit cycles, so let's concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature. Understood, copy that. Okay, copy that. No rainfall expected today. We think it'll stay dry. decent parking. Let's try and get a good launch as the lights go out. Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid is formed. Be ready with the clutch. Ocon's behind you. That's P1. Ocon behind. Okay, push, push. Gap to the car behind. 3.4 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Your pit window opens in 15 laps time. 43 laps to go. Ocon's behind you. Okay, car behind trailing us. 3.8 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are just 1 lap old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. Your last lap time was a 1:54.4. DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 6.4 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. They're currently 5th. Time last lap was a 1:53.0. First position, front of the pack. Ocon behind. Okay, gap to the car behind. 6.7 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. And that's 13 laps now until your pit window's open. Okay, 41 laps to go. Okay, there are 47 laps of fuel remaining. Battery charge is high, let's use that overtake button a bit more. Ocon's behind you. We're leading the car behind by 8.1 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. You've got 11 laps until your pit window opens. All right, mate, that's 39 laps to go. Ocon behind. And the gap behind us is 8.1 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 5 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. And the time last lap was a 1:52.8. tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Ocon's behind you. Okay, the gap behind is 11.8 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 53.1. Gap to your teammate behind is 16.7 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. They're in 4th. Time last lap was a 1:53.0. first position, front of the pack. Ocon behind. Our gap behind is 0.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. The pit window will be open in 7 laps time. Okay, there are 35 laps left in this race. Tyre condition still looking good. Got a lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. Ocon's behind you. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 0.3 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, they've done 10 laps on those tyres. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. And the time last lap was a 1 minute 53.1. Wow, that was a heck of an impact. Let me know you're okay.
What a great race then, and a magnificent victory here at the Belgian Grand Prix. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again. So let's have a look then at the drivers' standings. It was not the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. So let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for your driver of the day?
Well, for me, it's got to be Lewis Hamilton. The multiple world champion may be the boring choice at this point, but you can't argue that he's a driver deserving of his reputation.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes moved to the top of the table. Well, that certainly was an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.